Liverpool versus everybody. Like the title says, I can't seem to get this game out of my mind. We got a lot to talk about here. I have Mame and Gerri to join me. And just to start, I want to say last night's game, after watching it back, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. And um, in my opinion, for a neutral, it's an incredible match. I think for us, there's a little bit of agony, a little bit of ecstasy. It tests our patience. We get nervous. But it was an old school heavyweight fight to me. It was a heavyweight bout. We went toe to toe. Um, and at the end of the day, it seems like the game was determined by a goalpost. And theirs went in, ours didn't. And I think when you highlight the game defensively, obviously Liverpool, A, are the team you kind of attack because we lost. And B, we have a player named Dejan Lovren who will become a scapegoat. Um, but at the end of the day, I think both teams played really, really well. And it wasn't much in it, very fine margins, and they got the better of those margins. Um, I want to start with the lineup, and I think for us personally, I wasn't too surprised. I think that's the lineup that, especially in the midfield, that Klopp really likes to go with in big games for one reason or another. For so long, Klopp has proven me wrong, so I don't really question him at this point. But I understand people who do. I'll come to you, Gerri, first. Hindsight's a bitch, but going into the game when you saw that lineup, were you confident that we can get the result?
Um, you're always going to be confident, especially on the run we've been in. I mean, that's all. What was it? Is that 9 wins in a row in the Premier League? You're 7 point gap to City. You're going to be confident. I mean, there's your concerns. You obviously have your concerns there with that midfield. The plan was working. The plan was working. I know what Klopp's plan was. Going to City away, you need players. They're going to press. They're going to press really, really um, high in the midfield. We barely had any time on the ball in that midfield. I thought Milner was a bit poor in the game. He got taken off quite early, and you saw the difference as soon as Fabinho came on. And it's normally when a player like that comes into such a game of that intensity. Sometimes you can lose a ball, you can bit slow on the ball, but he was just brilliant. He was moving the ball quickly, moving it forward. And obviously after the game, as I said, you always have to look at what we could have done different. But I was always worried where that ball through to the front three is going to come from. And I said to my mate, I said to him, the ball is, if we're going to create chances, we're going to create chances through our fullbacks or the front three together. And that's how it was. The Mane chance, Salah and Firmino link up, and Salah plays it through to Mane. And the goal that we score is Alexander-Arnold to Robertson to Firmino. So I knew that midfield wasn't going to create anything. It was just it's just a workaholic midfield. Like Graham Sooner said last night on a talk show, it's a workaholic midfield. There's not a lot. They're not gifted with that vision, with that quality of passing. They're just working hard. That experience in those games. And it was working. We were doing quite well. I wasn't really worried during the match. I wasn't really nervous during the match because I felt that we could get a result out of it. And I think that the goal that they scored just frustrated me because it was just totally against the run of play, especially the second one. The first one just comes from Dejan Lovren just sleeping a couple seconds, a second, sleeping, doesn't know where Aguero is. And with Aguero, you can't. You have to be aware at all time when you're playing up against him, and he scored again past us. So it's just very disappointing because I thought we played. I thought we played well, but as he's not well enough to get the result, it seems.
Yeah, I agree a lot with what you're saying there. Mame, what are your feelings about the lineup? And just talk to me how you felt going into it, and then kind of the hindsight, obviously, of what maybe could have
Well,
and should have happened.
well, for me, I think that tactically, with that lineup, we were on point because in the first half, let's say it, City didn't have many chances. You know, we didn't, but City didn't have many chances. And that goal, as much as we can blame Lovren, I'm sorry, if there's someone to blame, I think it's Alisson. He got beaten on
Mm,
his near post. Last
mm,
year, the same happened with Karius and with that
mm,
Sane goal, and everybody was blaming him, you know.
mm,
And that goal shouldn't have gone in. I'm sorry. And it's an individual goal, a solo goal. Let's say it, you know, because collectively they couldn't score a goal other than that, you know. That's the thing. And if you see it, the midfield, you cannot blame them that much in the first half because they isolated Fernandinho.
Hmm.
Defensively, he was having a good game, but offensively, he was isolated. You know,
Yeah.
so I think that it was fair in the first half that it could have been 0-0.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And I love that you brought up Allison. I think it's again, look, we know Lovren, he might as well wear scapegoat across the back of his shirt instead of Lovren. He didn't make too much of a good way for himself, and that's unfortunate. I think
yeah,
the yellow card. Go ahead.
and don't get me wrong, he had a bad game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no,
I will
no, no,
not
no,
take
no, no.
that away.
I'm totally with you on this. I mean, he did have a bad game. He wasn't the only one, but I think especially on that first goal, I think Allison is equally at fault. I'm sorry. Aguero goes down in the box. He gets back up. We allow him to get the ball in that part of the field. I don't know what Lovren is thinking. I have no clue what he's doing right there. I mean, Aguero was a big part of that game. We'll get into it deeper, but yeah, defensively in that moment, it just wasn't good. I think the yellow card for Lovren, it really messed him up. Not to give him an excuse, but I just think Lovren's already got a mistake or two in him, and to have that yellow card, I think he was just playing kind of on thin ice, and that didn't work for us, and that's unfortunate. Um,
True.
but one thing I noticed about watching the game back is that Man City were, I mean, inches away from becoming the comical of a defense that we probably came out to be. And I say that because as good as Vincent Company was in that game, um, I thought he was anyway. The goal that we score, he makes a comedy of an error there. The ball goes right over across his face, right to Firmino. Thank you, I'm happy, but that's a defensive mistake in my opinion. I don't think City saw that coming. The fact that Trent was able to fake the shot, put it on his left, and put it in the air, and Robbo to complete that pass, that assist for the goal was amazing. And then also the first chance we get, which a beautiful play, 1-2 Salah back to Firmino, back to Salah, put the ball through to Mane, hits the post, and then it would have been the John Stone show after this game if he would have cleared that ball off of his keeper and it went in. But he held himself in glory. He nutmegs Mo Salah somehow and clears the ball off the line. So that's why I keep saying this game was so very, very fine margins and could have gone a lot of ways. Did you guys notice? Is it just me, or did you notice that Fernandinho set the tone early in that game with two really crunching challenges? One was on Mane, and Mane gets up smiling and tries to, I guess, congratulate him on the tackle, but Fernandinho was having no part of it. And then the tackle he put on Robertson very, very early in that game, to me, you could tell that Fernandinho was going to boss that midfield. And that was really frustrating for me to see. Gerri, what did you notice in Fernandinho, his physicality in that game and what he brought?
Well, for big Fernandinho was brilliant, wasn't he? The amount of challenges, like Mama said, he said, we did a job on Fernandinho in that first half. They weren't getting the ball as much then because you can see the midfield was isolating him, putting pressure on him. When he got the ball, he was always passing it backwards. Firmino was quite close to him. You can see Klopp didn't want Klopp wanted Fernandinho to kind of just fade out the game. And in the second half, he had more of an impact. He just looked like a completely different player. It's like half players completely just forgot about him in that midfield. You can see him passing the ball much more forwards in the second half. The tackles, the interceptions, he was just so good. And you can see even Fabinho, as soon as Fabinho came on, there's such a difference in our play, and that's why we should have started him because he was when he got the ball, he wasn't thinking sideways. He was thinking moving the ball forwards, moving the ball quickly, and moving it forwards all the time, and that's what we needed as well. And that midfield, Wijnaldum just, I love Wijnaldum so much. Right? He's such a good player, but he takes so many touches on the ball. It's like he never has control of the ball on his feet. It's like he shoots of magnets, moving all around the place when he has control of that ball. He just left, right. He just never has complete control of it, and it frustrated me quite a bit there because Wijnaldum doesn't move the ball quick enough. He takes far too many touches. He doesn't move the ball forward quick enough as well. That's a problem. With that midfield, don't expect anything. I said I wasn't surprised. they're always going to move the ball backwards and sideways, and they're just going to work hard. And they did their job. Don't. That's why I'm not angry at them, because they don't. I don't expect anything more from them. I don't expect them to play balls over the top and through balls into Salah, Firmino, Mane's feet. I don't expect that. I expect that from a player like Shaqiri or a Chamberlain or a Naby Keita. You know, so Fernandinho was very, very good in the game, wasn't he? He set a tone and set with those challenges.
Yeah, and even to my surprise, Bernardo Silva. I mean, although he cried after every damn call that happened, he was very, very surprisingly physical. And you can see they had a plan. I think they came out. We did as well. It just didn't seem to work in the right moments. At the end of the day, again, I think, and the two moments that they had, they were clinical, and that kind of made the difference. There's a lot of talk about the challenge from Vincent Company on Salah in that game. Obviously, rival fans will bring up the challenge that Virgil van Dijk put on it. Was it Dries Martins in the Champions League? Listen, it's a challenge that I think, as Klopp said in the post match, if he stays on his feet, Salah, he possibly could. It possibly could end his season. I mean, it's a serious challenge. It didn't catch him. I think on another day, maybe a different ref calls that different. Mame, we're not going to sit here and talk about how maybe that was the reason we lost, but in that challenge, do you think it was red card worthy? I just want to get your opinion on that.
Well, it's a tough call. It's a really tough call. I have to go back to Virgil van Dijk challenge against Mertens. It's those kind of fouls that if it was an away game, it would be a red card. It would be a red card. But it was a tough challenge. It was ugly. It was tough. But hey, it's really hard to call to give a red card like that in your home ground.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of talk about the referee coming in, him being, I guess, from Manchester or somewhere living out there, and that being a bad call. It's ridiculous. I thought he had a good game. Go ahead, Gerri.
Yeah, I mean,
he had a good game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the ref, right? I mean, I don't think he had a bad game, but I mean, I heard Jamie Carragher after talking, and he was like, "Oh yeah, maybe he doesn't want to ruin the game." But sorry, who ruined the game last year? John Moss, when we were 1-0 down, in probably the same minute, same exact time. It doesn't matter about ruining the game. If it's a red card, it's a red card. If it's the 90th minute, it's a red card. If it's the first minute and it's the same challenge and you think it's a red card, it's a red card. It doesn't matter what minute, what occasion it is. If it's a red card, it's a red card. John Moss ruined the City Liverpool game when we lost 5-0 last time. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter about ruining the game. If it's a red card, it's a red card. And I mean, you can see Anthony Taylor. I thought he had a good game, but you can see he was dying to blow the final whistle. Ederson wastes around 30 seconds. The fans keep the ball for around 20 seconds. That's a total 50 seconds.
Yeah, that's fucked up too. Yeah,
but I'm more frustrated with the goal line technology thing. Because that would have counted if it was another competition with VAR. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it would have. But
we've seen goals. We've seen goals that didn't even cross the line, like 50%.
Yeah.
So that was really frustrating. Plus that Mane missed just before that. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean that's a turning point in the game, and obviously it's. Go ahead, Gerri.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's so annoying, mate, because like you said, it was fine margins. It was just like that sort of luck in the game. It was like if Mane scores that, okay, cool, he misses it, and it bounces back out. Sane's one bounces back, hits the post and goes in, and our one bounces back out. Then we need to score a goal, but it's a centimeter away from going in completely. And it was just so unfortunate, because I thought the team did quite well. I'm not going to slate them for the performance. I think they did okay, but it's not the standard that we've seen Liverpool play over the past few months, especially on the Klopp. So, then I wasn't expecting that standard at the same time because of that midfield three. I wasn't expecting us to create many chances in that game as soon as you see them in that midfield, because it doesn't fill you with confidence. It just doesn't fill you with confidence. The amount of time City cleared the ball off the line with Ederson, with Stones, with who else? Everyone on the line. We had a few chances to score. I mean, Salah has a good chance as well. It's a very scrappy shot. I mean, if that's a prolific finisher, if that's a Aguero, Aubameyang on their favorite foot, I think they finished that. So
yeah, maybe. Listen, I think, and that's the thing. I'm glad I watched it again, because I am proud of the team, and we did make chances. they just took theirs a bit better, which is again very fine margins.
Yes.
Does it frustrate you, Mame? Because
Well,
Gary makes a good point there by saying that we didn't really have we didn't look at our best attacking with that midfield. Does it bother you that it almost feels like, at least in my opinion, that Klopp
mm,
gave
mm,
look, there's a fine line between respect and scared. I don't want to say Klopp was scared, but does it bother you at all that it seems like we played too safe, too much not to lose instead of just trying to take the game to them? Or is that not how you saw it?
well, it's very hard to judge because I think it was a tactical plan from Klopp. Just as I said, just try to go like have like a 0-0 at halftime or something like that, and then try to put the pressure on them. Because if you look at it, man, can you play with only two midfield with a team like Manchester City?
Hmm.
You know, it's a risk going too offensive. That was a risk because don't forget that City is a good team, man. City is a very very good team, and yesterday the only reason why they won is that they wanted it more than us. Bernardo Silva had the game of his life. You
Oh my
know,
God, did he? Did he?
you know
Yeah, he
the,
he
the,
he, he was
the
incredible.
Fernandinho was incredible. You don't see
Yeah.
them play like
Yeah.
that. I think this was the best City performance in maybe 2018
And you know what?
against a top team.
That's the thing, because I don't think he was. And I hear what you're saying, and I pretty much agree. I don't think it was either one of our either team's best performance. But I see what you're saying. I think just how much they put into that game, man. Those players, how much they put
Exactly,
into that game was really. I mean, I hate to say it because it's the opposing team, but they put some real serious blood, sweat, and tears, literally. And you can see in that game, everybody was spent. Like they need probably 2 weeks off
exactly.
from that game. They put everything in this game. Um, and it's just wow, man. Wow.
Because
So
at the end of the game, what you really see is that they wanted it more than us. It seems that club didn't have so much pressure. He was like, okay, a month ago we were like 2 points behind. Even if
yeah,
we lose, we're still 4 points
and
clear. You know,
I said that in the review, the late review last night, and I kind of felt like I was being too harsh, but I think I agree with that, man. I hate to say that because you never want a team to want it more, and I don't think Klopp would ever say something like that. But I think when it came down to it, uh, it did seem like City slightly wanted it a bit more. I want to move on slightly to just quickly on Vince a little bit more, and then we'll go into some other topics. But no, Vincent Company really rolled back the years last night, and Lee Dixon calls the games here in America. And there was a moment around the 7th minute mark when he said, Vincent Company is not a young man anymore, and Liverpool should be trying to attack him. And it was almost like Vincent Company had this secret earpiece in his ear, and he was hearing all that because he really notched up his game that much more. And you can see there's a moment there after Salah goes down where he's literally calling Salah a pussy um, 2 or 3 times, and again, it looked like City was really trying to get at us in a way where they wanted to kind of intimidate us. And unfortunately for me, some moments in that first half, it really came off for them. Um, so I think we had the best passage to play there for the goals. I really do. I think our well, I say goals, but our goal and then the one we probably should have had in the first half, I think was some of the best football in the game. It'll go unspoken about probably because of, again, the result, things of that nature. But again, I think we had some really good moments in that game. Let's talk about Mane. I think his first touch of the game really kind of foreshadowed what his game was like. His first touch of the game was him trying to control the ball and it goes right out of bounds. There's some other moments there where Fabinho comes in, and we'll talk about him afterwards. But Fabinho comes in and changes the game, in my opinion, right away for us. Moving the ball, spraying the ball all over the pitch, getting openings. There was one he hit to Mane there late, and he kind of knocks it out of bounds again. Mane coming off. Mame, did you think that was a good choice? That's your boy. That's all our boy, but Senegalese, to be specific.
yeah, but
Uh,
but you think what I think is that Mane wasn't meant to go out in this game. Club didn't want to. It wasn't the plan. But Mane made two
yeah.
mistakes.
Hmm.
The first mistake, there's a mistake where the ball comes in. I think it was a cross, and he let the ball go out. He missed his control. And the
Hmm.
second And the most important one is the goal, the second City goal. Because when there was that tactical twist,
Yeah.
we were playing 4-4-1-1 or 4-4-2. I don't know,
Mm.
and
4-4-2.
Mane
Yeah,
was
you can see Fabinho was telling him 4-4-2. Yeah.
exactly, and Mane was playing on the right. He was
Yeah.
right midfielder, and
Mm.
he was supposed to track back with Sane, and he didn't. He was nowhere. He was behind. You can see him after doing a sprint when it was too late.
And I think that really, really got to Klopp. I think that was the
Exactly.
turning point. Yeah.
That really got to him.
Yeah.
You know. Of course, it
Uh,
wasn't only his fault because Anderson was nowhere to be found too.
oh no, of course, of
But
course. Yeah, I don't want
yeah,
to scapegoat anybody, but I just think
yeah,
it's important to highlight how much we missed Mane in that game in very key moments. Sure, he did some things here and there, but all in all, Mane was a bit missing in the game.
yeah. He was disappointing. He was
And that
disappointing.
and that feels bad. Gary, uh, what did you think about Mane, and also what did you think about the left side of our defense? Did you think Trent held himself in glory for most of the game? I thought in the first half, although they didn't really score much from it, Sane was able to have a lot of joy on that left side,
Mhm.
and it looked quite easy to me a lot of times. So talk to me about that, Gary. What did you think about first Mane and then Trent?
Yeah, I mean, just quickly before I go into, I think if Joe Gomez is fit, I think he probably plays at right back in this game. If Joe
Yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah,
plays at right back and he plays
yeah,
Lovren at centre back, but
yeah.
I mean Trent was I don't know, I can't really explain too much. I don't think he was bad. I don't think he was brilliant. I thought he was okay. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, I thought yeah, Sane did get past him a couple of times down that left hand side, but it is difficult when you got a player like that running at you, especially when he's on that top quality form. Yeah, the brilliant game last night. I thought he was just constantly asking questions of Trent. And at that point when Trent goes a bit high, you've also got to remember that you've got him behind you as well. You have to look over. So I thought he was okay. I don't think he had a bad game, Alexander Arnold. But with Mane, I thought if you have with Lovren, I mean Lovren helping him, down that side. He's 29 years of age. He's played in the Champions League final. He's played in the World Cup final. Surely he should have a bit of that leadership to actually guide Trent through the game. In fact, then he's making the mistakes himself. He's making life difficult for Alexander Arnold because for the second goal, he pushes up. He leaves Sterling onside. Then he goes push up. He pushes up. He has no idea where Aguero is. Then Trent has to follow Lovren's man, which is Aguero, and then leaves a gap for Sane. And Mane
Yeah,
obviously
great. Yeah,
that.
great point. And that's why I said I'm gonna let you finish, but that's why I said Aguero was so. And unfortunately, they got at us that way. But Aguero was so important in the game. The run he made for that second goal is
Yeah.
is why they scored. That's why they scored. Aguero making that run, smart, taking our defense away. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he takes out Alexander Arnold the way Lovren's got no awareness whatsoever. He doesn't know where anyone on the pitch is. He's just ball watching again, looking at the ball. He doesn't even make a challenge on I think it's Raheem Sterling, is it? That plays the ball to Sane.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
Mane,
easy, easy.
easy ball. Mane he's not tracking back for against Sane. I don't think that's really a point where I don't think that's really something that you have to criticize him too much. I don't really
Yeah,
criticize him at all after that. But Mane leaves him free, even though it's all Lovren's fault in that goal. He leaves everyone exposed, and Sane has a free shot, and he's always going to score. I was just looking, I was like, no, Sane. I was just shouting at
yeah, yeah. It
him.
didn't look good.
Sane on the left was deadly, absolutely deadly. He's always going to score. And was it Mane you asked me on Mane's performance?
Yeah, yeah. Just what you thought about it. And what do you think maybe
Mm.
was the issue in the game where he kind of lost it? Because I just felt like he definitely did, and I think in a game like that, we need everybody, obviously, but with the midfield the way it was, we needed that front three to be at their best, if they could. And I think Salah and Firmino did some things. Mane wasn't a garbage, he had some moments, obviously, but it just wasn't what we've come to know of him, Gary.
Yeah, Mane was he always has these little spells where he's off it, then he's on it. One
Yeah,
game
yeah,
on, one game off it. He's a bit inconsistent, and we kind of criticized him for these performances, haven't we?
Yeah,
So it's
and man
frustrating.
is. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, as I say, it's frustrating because You know, we know what a good player is, you know, and you know what? I think that Mane from 2016-17 was just unplayable. It really was that year when he was on that right hand side playing with Firmino Coutinho. I don't think I've ever seen a better Sadio Mane than that year. I don't know if you agree or not, but that year when I saw him play,
Good point.
he always looked like he was going to do something when he was going to take on a player. Now I just don't get that same confidence, that same belief. I don't know why, but maybe I'm just being a bit reactionary.
No, I think there's something in there. I'm gonna let Mame say what he was to say. I don't want you to forget. Go ahead, Mame.
Yeah, the thing with Mane is when you go too physical on him, he loses it. He's a very
Mm,
emotional guy,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
if,
that sucks to see, man.
and
Fernandinho
even
side
and
when
even in the team, it seems like when Salah is doing well, Mane is not doing well. I don't know
Mm,
why. I think
when
that
Salah
he's
does well,
not
Firmino does
not
well with him.
yeah,
yeah.
not that he's hiding or something like that, but I think that he's waiting for things not to work for him to step up.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Go
like
ahead.
Aaron. It's like when Salah plays well, Firmino play well together. When those two play well, then Mane doesn't play well. When Mane plays well, Firmino and Salah don't really play well, and it's like
Exactly.
it's kind of
That's what I'm saying. It's like he's waiting that things are not clicking for him to step up.
I mean, yeah. Last year you could see it when Mane was off form, around December, January, February time before he got the hat trick at Porto. Salah and Firmino were linking up together, doing really well. And now when away from home against PSG, Mane was the best player. Away from home against Arsenal, Mane was the best player, and Firmino and Salah didn't have good games in those particularly. So it's kind of a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to see any player, but especially Mane. It seems like once they were really physical with him, he didn't want any part in the game, and that is very disappointing to see from Mane. Because
Exactly.
and I say that because look, I don't think Mane's a soft player. That's why it was so shocking to me. We've seen what happens when Lichtsteiner tried to cross him in an Arsenal game. He wasn't having it. Even in the first game at Anfield, him and Fernandino were going at it. If you remember that, I don't know if there was a moment there where they were like in each other's face. It was physical, it was hard, but something about last night, it's like he wanted no part of that game. And Jason left a comment here about saying how Klopp always talks about playing angry, but there's sometimes, and I hate to keep having to talk about this, guys, but sometimes Liverpool are just way too nice, and I don't know where that's coming from because
Yeah,
Klopp
especially
talks about.
yesterday, man.
Yeah, it was just like, come on, you got to match them. Blow. This is City, and I get it. They're a good team, but I never thought, honestly, man, even with Fernandinho, I never thought that they would come in
Yeah,
and kind of overrun us like that physically. That was just really disappointing to see, man. Go ahead, Gary.
you know what it was? It was like City right. It was like City's performance last night was kind of not an exact way, but it was kind of like a Real Madrid performance, like a dirty, nasty one, like a PSG away performance. And it was like when we were just too nice. We were just passing the sideways. We weren't matching them for that same kind of hunger, that same kind of that nastiness. Sometimes we need that. We need. So I mean, Luis Suarez used to be he used to be the one that used to match every single opposition team when they used to have a kick at Suarez. Suarez would get up and have a kick right back at them. You know what I mean? We need
Yeah,
that. We need that
But
sort
but
of nastiness. We
but
can't do this.
Fabinho is like that. Fabinho is like that.
yes. Let's. You know what? That's a good segue.
you know.
Go ahead and finish. I don't know if I want to cut you
Sorry.
off. No, it's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I said Fabinho is like that. He's that kind of player, just like
Yeah.
Fernandinho. You
Yeah.
know.
That's why
Unfortunately, he
we need
came
someone
late,
that's
but
the game.
you know.
Would you say, Gary?
We needed someone that was going to disrupt the game in the way for Nadim,
Man,
and someone that was going to
man.
pass forward, and someone that was going to get in those tackles. And so you can see the difference in the team as soon as he came on.
The
And that's what
moment he came on, bro. The moment he came on.
and it's so hard because, as I said, when you're in midfield and you come into a game like that from the bench, it's so hard because the intensity, the speed of the game. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to settle in, but he just immediately came in. And Klopp needs to be a bit more brave with his team selections. Just a bit more brave. I don't know why Fabinho wasn't starting last night. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Because of
Good.
Hendo, man. We have to talk about Hendo too. The guy is
Yeah.
not good enough. I defend
Yeah.
him in most games,
Yeah.
but he's not good enough. I'm sorry. He's not.
I don't know if he was as again, and I watched the game again last night, and maybe I was focusing on different points of the match. I don't know if he was that bad. I
I
really,
don't.
I don't know if he was that bad, man. I
He
don't
wasn't
know.
bad. He
The
wasn't
problem, the
bad.
problem is not that he wasn't that bad, but we needed someone better at this position.
Yeah.
No, and I definitely that is obvious. I mean, Stevie Wonder can see that. Fabinho came on right away, and the elegance this dude has on the ball, man, is incredible. I mean, there's sometimes when he makes passes, I don't even think he's looking. He just knows where people are. He has that great sense of placement and the wherewithal he has. He's really really good with the ball. And yeah, I mean, that should be, I think, besides the Lovren hate and all that. One thing to take from the game also is that Fabinho probably earned a spot in this game. There's nothing we can do about it now.
Exactly.
But his
Exactly.
play on that ball, man, I mean, he came in and did exactly what we needed to do against City. So imagine if we had him for 90 minutes doing that,
Exactly.
spraying the ball and finding these open. I mean, I don't think he gave one ball away. And I think
Exactly.
there was so much of that. And let's be honest, guys, there's been so many ill-advised turnovers in a lot of these games. And I think it really, really caught up to us in this game. But yeah, no, Fabinho was incredible. And I really hope, the thing that's kind of frustrating as well is we paid how much for Fabinho, Shaqiri, and Naby, and none of them really played. Yes, Fab came on and did what he did. But you would think a game like this is a game that you're getting, if no one else, especially Naby and Fab for. He didn't do it. Hindsight, we get it. But it does make you wonder, like, when will he feel like, you know what, I'm gonna go with these guys. I think again, Klopp is very, very much one of the things I talked about with him was substitutions and him kind of falling in love with certain players where he just needs to call it what it is. We know what some of these guys are in the team. It's up to Klopp to make the decision to say, look, you know what, I'm going to have to move this guy on. Or, right now, look, Lovren's our only option, right? We get that. And in a game like that, I think Gomez, maybe even Matip, maybe they make some better decisions there playing defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I just want to say something as well.
yeah, please.
On what was that again? I was going to say something. I think it was it was on Fabinho. I think it was just like you just see it was Fabinho Henderson. That's the one. I mean, with Henderson, right? It's with I thought he didn't have a bad game last night. I thought he won the ball up high quite a few times up the pitch.
Yeah.
It was okay, but the thing is, we need more. I mean, there's a time, a chance to play a crossfield ball to Alexander-Arnold, and you just see him stalling. He just doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't believe in that ball, to play that ball outside to Alexander-Arnold. That we got so much space, and in the end, he ends up passing back to Van Dijk, and Van Dijk, the gap's closed even more. Van Dijk still tries to make the pass. He doesn't. It's not success in the end because the gap's closed, but he still makes a pass. And that's what we need as well. With Henderson and Lovren, it's just like with those two, one plays good, then the other plays bad in a game, but then we say, yeah, he didn't do too bad. Then next game, Henderson will have a bad performance. We will criticize him. Then Lovren might have a good one. It's just, it was just Lovren's normal, rubbish, expected performance in a game, and it comes in such an important one. And that's the thing with Lovren. As soon as he makes a mistake, it's like his head drops. He's got no composure anymore. He's got no confidence anymore. I mean, you just have to look at it. When Shaqiri passed that ball to him in the 90th minute, he doesn't reach it.
Yeah, that was a joke, man. That was a fucking joke.
And about Fabinho, I don't know if you guys used to watch Ligue 1 in France.
Yeah,
Fabinho, sometimes he played number 10 too. He played all the spots in the midfield.
Yeah, he has that ability. That's what makes him so good. But yeah,
the guy is so good. And about Naby, I'm sorry, I'm running out of patience. It's not directed at him, but Klopp has to make him play, or he
that's my issue. And it's so funny to see, and I'm so glad you said that, Mame, because so many Liverpool fans are literally second guessing Naby's skills, his talents, how great he is. And opinions are opinions, and that's fine. But Klopp's got to get this guy going. Just get him going, man. At this point, and I know injuries have stuttered his growth and the team and all that, and I get that. But you think in a game like this, come on, man. Like, and if you're not starting, he's got to play a role. I mean, he's a guy that will really run at Fernandinho, and we didn't have that for long periods, especially not having Shaqiri. So go ahead.
We needed someone right now with Naby. We need him now. We haven't got time to wait for next season.
Exactly. I totally agree.
Naby needs time, but we haven't got time. That's the thing. Naby needs the time to think, but we haven't. We need to push him. We need to push him so much because this is the best chance. I've had so many years of hurt right now for supporting this football club. I just can't deal with another one. If we don't win the title here, I'm just gonna be just sick of it. I'm just gonna be tired. It's just like when you're tired,
but but guys,
Yeah,
then
there is nothing
you'll be
there is
back.
nothing dramatic.
Yeah, you'll
Come
be
on.
back. You'll be back again in the summer. And you know what? You know we need this. We need to start. You know now. I'm not gonna slip. I'm not gonna be negative. But when it went 1-1, I was saying take the point and leave. Take the point, 7 point gap.
yeah, it should have been that. It should have been that, bro.
Leave it and
Should have
move on.
been.
But there's no need to overreact now. We've still got some. We're still a brilliant team. It's not like we put a shocking performance last night where we embarrassed ourselves. That's gonna knock our confidence. We went. I would say toe to toe, but we stood up firm with City. On another day we could have drawn. Another day we could have won.
Yeah, and that's it.
Our
That's
way,
exactly it. Yeah.
we just
Let me,
rush down, move on to the next few games that we have in the Premier League because they're winnable.
yeah, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna go. Were you saying something, Mame?
No.
Okay.
Go on.
And we're gonna end with how we bounce back and moving on in the next fixtures. But I want to talk about Milner as the last player to highlight. And we talked about Milner and Henderson. Neither one of them were at their best. We get it. Do you think we rushed Milner back too early? We know he came off an injury. Do you think that was it? Because he definitely looked like he didn't have many legs, which was kind of surprising to me because he'd been out for
Yeah.
so long. But
That's
do you think we rushed him back, and was that a
that.
detriment to what we did in the midfield?
I think that's the only point I will question Klopp.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, Milner wasn't ready.
yeah. He didn't look like it.
And I think Klopp knew it, and I don't know if a player is not ready for coming back from injury, you don't have to start him. You can put him on as a sub, but you don't start him. I'm sorry.
It amazes me how in love he is with that midfield. And I don't. Again, he's gotten it right more times than not. But when again, I'm saying this word again, hindsight. Miller obviously wasn't ready. Anyone can see that. And the fact that he came off the time that he came off had a lot to do with him not having a good game, but also the luck he just couldn't make it. He couldn't make it for the 90 minutes. But go ahead, Gary.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you say, Klopp's fallen in love so much with that midfield, especially in these big away games, that we sort of have to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say?
It's like we do have other options. You could play if we wanted, if we really wanted to. If we could have, if Milner was out, we could literally just do what we did in the second half. Fabinho, Henderson in a double in the two. Wijnaldum on the left, on the right you could put Salah. Mane. Firmino 10, Salah up front. And they play much better there. Wijnaldum dropping back there, Salah up front, Mane in the right, Firmino 10. We look so much better with Fabinho in there. I don't know what the reason was. I mean, with James Milner, I said if he's proper fit, play him. He's 100% fit. If not, don't play him. We didn't need to rush him back. We've got other options. We've got Fabinho, who's been playing incredible. In these last couple of months. So there's no reason for us to rush him back. So to rush James Milner back, it's frustrating. I'm a bit.
No, I know. It's yeah.
We should have been 7 points. We should have been.
At least a draw.
Yeah, we should have had that little gap. Just that's an extra loss. Though that we just lost 3 points, 4-7. That's an extra loss. That's an extra defeat that we can afford. We can't afford that now. 4 points is absolutely nothing. You know what I mean?
Guys,
I wouldn't say nothing.
come on.
But I wouldn't say nothing.
I don't
Go ahead,
think
Mama.
we should overreact here. Come on. As I said, man, a month ago we were 2 points behind. And if you go back to a month ago, we were saying if in March or April we're still around there, just behind City, probably 2 points or a point. But now we're 4 points ahead. Come on.
I know, of course. But the way things went, the favor, of course. Before that, we were saying that when we were 2 points behind. But you have to look at it sometimes and maybe change your sort of feelings about it because to 4 points, of course, it's a nice little gap to have. But you can say it's 2 points. It's 2 draws, literally 2 draws, and we've kind of handed City a bit of momentum now, a bit of belief.
I agree, but at the same time, we knew at one point we would lose a game, and it's against City.
It's a bit annoying that's the thing. It's a bit annoying that City that's beating us.
And right now we have a lot of games to go, and it's time to. I think it will help the players to regroup and know that this is very very fragile. We can lose our lead anytime, so they will focus.
Yeah, look, I think the best thing to come away with that game is that one, because at the end there it looked like it could have gotten avoided and they could have got another goal and maybe another. So that game ended 3-4-1. That damages a bit more. The fact that we got out of there 2-1 is good. And I get both of you guys' points, and I think they're both right. I agree with both of them. Listen, this could be the best thing that happened to us.
Mm.
You know, that
Exactly.
doesn't feel like it now, but it could be a blessing. Let's hope that it's a blessing. Let's hope that this loss, really, really helps us get through and just stay strong and stay together. You know
Klein's
what I
gone
mean?
as well, hasn't he? Klein's on the Bournemouth on loan, so that's a bit of an odd one because I thought we have games such as the FA Cup coming up. So who are we going to put there? There's an Arnold in again, so I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't know the thinking behind that decision really.
What
Because
decision was that? I didn't hear what you said.
Klein's gone to Bournemouth.
Well, when you
Yeah,
text me that early in the group chat, I was thinking, what the fuck is that about? I
On
mean,
loan.
you let the young kid go to Sporting Lisbon. I forget his name right now, Rafa Camacho. So we're gonna have Milner deputizing and Gomez at right back with Trent. I don't get that. That makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
no,
And
it
right now,
makes no sense.
I
No sense.
literally couldn't care. I literally couldn't care about the FA Cup right now. I just want to.
Oh hell no, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I want us to win everything, but honestly, bro, I'm waiting for
Yeah,
that Brighton game. I'm not tripping off the Wolves game.
yeah, it's got to the point where I would never reject any single trophy, but it's got to the point where we need this Premier League so much that we just need to win this so we can just kind of breathe as a football club, as fans. We can just kind of say we've got this now. Let's build on it. Let's go for this. Let's go for that. Let's reassess it. Let's just move on. You know, we just kind of just stuck with this thing that we haven't won the Premier League, and it just gets under our skin as fans so much that we're just so desperate. And that's why it's so important for the players. And I think this is a different team. That's why I'm not too worried. It's not
Right. I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
yeah, it's not 13, 14 or 08 or 09 where we're panicked, especially at 13, 14, where we've got no backbone, got no spine. We last night we lost by 1.1 centimeters. That's how close it was.
Yeah.
We lost by that. That's why there's no need for us to go into the players to say Lovren is death threats to Lovren and all this stuff. You know, it's just
that's a joke, man. That people take that shit way too far, man. He's still a Liverpool player. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a bit too far. A couple of things before we end. Just to go back to, not that I want to, but I want to make a point about Alisson. To go back to the goals that they scored, you notice both of those goals are put in crazy places, knowing because Alisson is so long and so good. The shot, and I don't know how Aguero was making that goal from that angle in the roof of the net. That's just ridiculous. I don't know how that's happening.
I don't think that's Alisson's fault to be against the first one.
Let me clear that up. Go ahead, Gerri. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't think it's when he's taken that touch. I mean, obviously, I think Alisson sort of probably knows where it's going, or maybe it's going bottom. He probably knows it's going top corner. But the strikers just hit with so much power and so much pace. I just don't think he can't. I don't think he can do anything to be kind to do. Yeah. The pace and the power on the ball is just too much. I don't think he can do anything. I mean, if anyone's at fault, I mean, I don't. It's your opinion, of course, and I respect anyone's opinion.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It just comes from Lovren ball watching, literally. That's where the ball comes from. I don't want to.
No, that's totally true.
I don't want to scapegoat, but that's where it is. If Virgil van Dijk's in the near post, that goal does not happen. It's as simple as that. You know, but Van Dijk was just babysitting Lovren all night last night. You could just see the frustration.
It's almost if anybody's at that near post, it doesn't happen, but Lovren. And I brought it up again, not even really to say Alisson was at fault or anything, but what I wanted to say was really in light of that how good Alisson is, because players know they have to do incredible shit just to get a goal. Even the second one was with Sane. He makes sure he puts that wide enough, and he thinks in his mind, if I hit the post, I got a chance for this to go in, because otherwise this big giant of a goalkeeper is probably going to save it.
What about when Aguero goes around him? What do
you mean? Oh, and he saves it.
Yeah, Aguero went round Minile last year, an exact same move, and Aguero scored past Minile. He literally went round Minile like that.
I thought you meant like the moment where Aguero almost went around Alisson in the game last night, but he stayed on his knees, on his feet, or whatever. That was incredible, man. That was incredible. Because I was thinking, you know what? That's 3-1. Game is over.
I was saying if he scores that, I was saying when Alisson.
I got you.
Yeah, I said if Alisson saved that, I was like, if we get a point, it's all down to this guy again. If we get
Oh
a point.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And
And
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to knock Allison.
Yeah, you can see the difference of the goalkeepers because Aguero, when we lost 5-0, Aguero goes around Minile just easily. And then the difference with Alisson, you can just see.
But and again, it is about opinions, and especially us three, we expect each other's opinions. And I do disagree. I think as bad as Lovren was on that moment, I think Alisson could do better. And I think, and this is why I say it. If that's, and let's be honest here, if that's Karius or Mignolet, I think we're saying he should stop that. No?
Yeah, we would kill them.
And so we for me.
Well,
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I think Alisson is amazing, and I would want no keeper but him now. And I think it's harsh. It is harsh to put him at any fault in any of those goals, in my opinion. But I think the first one. Go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say you can't lose concentration. No,
you're right. You're totally right on that. You're totally right.
If we're winning 4-0 against West Ham at home, and then maybe you have a little slight lapse of concentration, then sometimes you can maybe you can not accept it, but you can understand it. But when this is the biggest game of the season, how can you not be 100% focused on the match? You're playing against the best striker, in my opinion, in the league. He's always going to be playing around you. You know, he makes that 1 second, literally 1 second of a loss of concentration, and that's it. It's 1-0, and you can't react because he's quick, he's sharp, he's a brilliant touch, and it's a left foot finish. It's an absolutely brilliant finish. That's why I'm just
yeah, it's one of those. Jason says he has to go. All right, yeah, we can wrap up, man. But I think Mame, what's your opinion on the Wolves game? Are you kind of like us, thinking that it'd be nice to win the FA Cup and that's cute and all that, but are you more so just like, what?
Frankly, I'm into Premier League and Champions League. I don't care about the FA Cup. I don't really care, man. That's the thing. Of course, we want to win everything, but if you have to prioritize FA Cup, man, we should go after way below.
Yeah, and it's like, who do we? I'm wondering. I mean, you think Keita gets in? I guess Shaqiri, Sturridge, Origi. I don't know.
None of the front three. None of them. Give them.
Yeah, it better not be. It better not be any of the front three.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I don't even know from that game who I want to. Because, and let's be honest, man. I know I keep rambling. I know we're trying to wrap this up, but is it me or did Robertson look completely spent after that game?
Tired.
Well, yeah. He looked totally exhausted after that game, and at some point he's got to get a rest. I know no one wants to hear that. I know nobody wants Alberto Moreno. You got to put Milner or someone there, especially with Klein leaving out. But Robertson needs a break. I never thought I'd say that because he can run forever. But to me, he looked really, really tired.
I understand now why we've left Klein out on the loan. We need him now for these sort of games. You let him go and go get a replacement. I mean, we've got 3 competitions to fight for. You know what? You put in a brilliant performance against Manchester United. If you need him again, you can put him in another game. You're gonna have to. I don't understand the thinking behind that. We're not going to sign anyone. We're not going to play that 16-year-old or 17-year-old Dutch kid that's apparently doing really well.
Right, I forget his name. But see, that's the thing though, because Solanke's all but done. I think at Crystal Palace, right? Like is he gonna go to Crystal Palace? Is that the talking? So we've let 3 guys. We're gonna let 3 guys go. I mean, surely Klopp has to consider something, no?
Nah, he won't. He's going to think Gomez and Milner can play at right back.
I think you're shooting yourself in the foot there, Klopp. If that's the case, I think. I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't, because I think we could be good, but I mean that means
we saw Coutinho. We said, that we need a replacement. We need the one we didn't really need one there, did we? But we probably did actually, because in the Champions League final we bring on Adam Lallana. But it's frustrating, mate. It's frustrating because I just wanted to this game. As Mama's gone, hasn't he?
He's back. He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's just it takes a couple. I'm not. There's no anger in me at all, because normally after defeat, like Red Star, I was angry after that.
Oh yeah, that's totally different worlds. Totally different worlds.
Completely different. I'm just disappointed. When you lose, you're never happy. You're disappointed, but there's positives to take. But then when you lose a game, it's hard to take those positives because you didn't get anything from the game, which you think you should have, and that's annoying. But with Wolves now, you probably need maybe put in a back wall over there, but probably they have to start again because we haven't got any options.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine him playing kids. But then again, he might. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and at the same time, you know, I mean, I said I didn't care about the FA Cup, but the problem is the momentum with the wins. You know,
Yeah, of course, we need a win.
you have to win the game. You know,
Yeah,
for the
100%. I remember when we lost to Swansea, and then we went and lost to West Brom in the FA Cup.
exactly.
So we need to
Exactly.
keep on winning. It doesn't matter how it is. We need to keep on winning and not let it just brush it under the carpet. I think it's better that we've got an FA Cup game than a Premier League game. Obviously, sometimes you just want to get out there and win and get in the Premier League and win a game straight after 3 or 4 days. But I think we need this kind of rest, this cool down from the busy and important games from the Christmas period. So we kind of need that. Let some of the players that are on the bench have a go, and then we just regroup a week later against Brighton, because that's a big game. I want to see a response in that, because Brighton are no mugs. They're a decent team. But we've beaten everyone outside the top 6. We've beaten every single team outside the top 6. So we just need to keep going. I think Brighton away, Palace home, Leicester home, West Ham away, and Bournemouth home. We need to win every single one of those games, and then we're going to be back on track. You know what I mean? So we can put this behind us if we start picking up some more points.
Yeah, those are all must wins. And against Brighton early in the season, I think we won just 1-0.
Yeah, that was just a weird performance, wasn't it? I mean, when Pascal
Yeah. Are we home or for this game?
away.
Oh wait, damn.
I think it's
yeah,
away.
So
Away, yeah.
Yeah. So we Chris Hughton's got them playing pretty.
City lost to us against in January, literally exact same time, and we ruined their. They ruined us, and then they bounced back. We need to do the exact same thing.
Exactly. I mean, still by that time, I think they were pretty much out of sight in the league. So, but I get your point. I mean, and that's again what piles on the frustration is like they did what we did to them last season. You know, look, we were probably never going to go unbeaten. That's a hard. Even though I said I thought we could, you know, and being invincible, it's pretty difficult. So
if we get past City away, I said if we get past City away, I said it in the preview, didn't I? I said if we get past City away, I think we could do it. We didn't get past City away, so
yeah. I want to end with this. Is there anything that Virgil van Dijk can't clear? I mean, this guy is just ridiculous, man. This guy may be able to clear AIDS or like diseases. I mean, this dude is just unbelievable, man. He's just everywhere. I mean, he played like 2 men last night. Unbelievable. Yeah, can we clone him? Man, we're gonna find. We need to find another Van Dijk. This dude is just ridiculous, man.
Whenever you say, yeah, there's other centre backs out there, Klopp, there's other centre backs out there. There you go.
That's the only one that's the only one. And I'm so happy that he chose Liverpool over City. Go ahead, my man.
Listen, since I mean, before I was like, we don't need any other center back. But after Lovren's performance yesterday, it's really hard because he's our only option for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. You know.
Yeah.
We need another one. I'm sorry.
I think Gomez and Van Dijk is the first choice partnership, but we just can't rely on those two all the time to stay fit, especially Gomez. You know, we need someone of that quality. You know, I mean, I would love a player like Koulibaly in that defense. I would just, oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. I'm sorry. So 1 second, Mame. Jason in the comment section says we should go for the Roma center back. Forgot his name. Do you guys know who he's talking about?
Costas Manolas.
Oh, him. Is that who you meant, Jason? Okay. Go ahead, Mame.
Okay. No, I don't know his name. Sorry.
Yeah, man.
No. I thought you were saying something. My bad.
Oh yeah, I was saying with now Klein gone, I mean, I think he's leaving. Now it's Joe Gomez gonna play right backs at times, or Milner, you know.
Yeah.
So if Joe Gomez gonna play there sometimes, we need someone else in the middle.
See, that bothers me because to me what that screams to me is that Klopp is still gonna go with Lovren a lot of the times. I mean, I really believe that. I think even when Gomez is fit, I think we'll still see a healthy dose of Lovren. And we'll see Gomez going at full, because you can't keep Trent at fullback the whole season.
Another mistake. There's another mistake where against Arsenal, you know, when Matip's Matip Gomez are much better at playing the ball out from the back. Much better.
Easy. Yeah, easy.
It was so frustrating. I was literally pulling my hair out of my head last night because Alisson was giving the ball to him, and then Lovren was literally acting like he was, look, I'm looking for a pass.
He kept putting us in bad positions. All game he put us in. And it wasn't even about his defending. That's what people don't really recognize. It was a lot of him, just his terrible thought process. I mean, he put us in bad positions so many times, man.
It's like he was pretending like he wanted to pass the ball forward, when in fact, as soon as he touched the first ball, he knew he was going to pass it straight back to Alisson. You know, so Matic was incredible when he was passing the ball forward, especially against Napoli. He would have been much better than Lovren last night. You know, in terms of giving the ball out from the back. You know, I mean, Joe Gomez, he struggled with pace, Lovren against Sane. Joe Gomez would have had the strength and the physicality and the speed.
Easy, especially the physicality. Yeah.
Physicality and as well, of course. So it just, you know, with Lovren, I mean, against Arsenal, he tries to play that ball over the top. They head it away. He then tries to kick the ball away. Do you know what I'm talking about? Arsenal scored their goal. He plays
for the first goal.
How can I forget? Yeah,
he plays the ball at the top. It's a poor pass. Then once again they come at him. It's a poor bit of defending. He just kicks the air basically, and they score 1-0. We just don't remember that. We just don't remember.
The build up. And I know we're still talking, guys. Thank you so much for bearing with me. The build up to that yellow card, the first one for Lovren. Trent gives the ball away. Are we being harsh? Like for that tackle, do you make? Should he have made that? Is it okay that he made that tackle and got that yellow card?
When he did that, I was saying, okay, cool, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Sane was free on the left. Sane was absolutely free on the left.
Yeah. That'd have been terrorizing.
Yeah, that was a good move. That was a good move.
Yeah, I agree.
Was it Trent or Gini to get the ball away? I'm not too sure.
It was Trent. No, it was definitely Trent.
Yeah.
Now that you asked, it might have been Genie, but I thought it was Trent. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but it was just a poor. It was of course, it's a poor tackle. I think he probably tried to of course, he tried to win the ball, but it was never going to happen. Aguero shielded the ball well, and I was saying, okay, yellow card. I don't know if that put a bit of pressure on him. I don't know, but
I think it did. I think it played a role.
Yeah, I think it probably put a bit of thought in his head not to slide in or whatever, to stay on his feet. But there's no excuse for his performance last night. It's just a Lovren-esque performance, literally. We were just waiting for it to happen. And we're just criticizing now because it cost us the game. If we're winning the game...
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, yeah.
If we win the game 4-2, we don't criticize him. We don't say anything about him. It's just that we've won the game. We've lost the game. That's why we're criticizing him. He played against Arsenal as well.
But listen, as much as we love our manager, if he wants to keep going with him right now, obviously that's the only option. I get it. But there's not really much we can do anymore. We've seen the best of Lovren, which isn't often, unfortunately, although he's had some moments. We've seen the worst of him. And way too many times it's in the middle or the worst. And so at this point, he's still a Liverpool player. When he's on the pitch, I have to support that Klopp goes with him. That's just what it is. Sorry. But yeah, let's be honest. I think he's a guy that we feel like, I don't even, would you guys even be okay with him just being the backup or just shift out altogether?
Well, he's all right. In the home games, he's all right. Like Newcastle at home or whatever, he's all right to play in those ones, like Cardiff at home, whatever. He's all right. Stick him in there. But I want a consistent backline in terms of the three centre backs. I want Gomez and Van Dijk have such a good partnership together. You see on and off the pitch that you just look at them and you just think, yeah, you know what, these two together, I want them like a Rio and a Vidic, or like a Terry and who used to play, or Terry and Gary Cahill, they used to play together. You know, you want that them two together, you know, to play constantly week in and week out. And the thing with Lovren, we're never ever going to get consistent performances from him. There's always going to be a fuck up, like Henderson. Henderson plays well, and Lovren played bad. Next game, Henderson will probably play bad, and Lovren will play well. This is the players that we have, and we need to cut out these inconsistent performances on our team, because the only reason we're consistent this season is because we've as a team. The Klopp set up the team well. We've got the best defender in the world. We've got the goalkeeper that's been absolutely brilliant. We've got a brilliant left back. That's the only reason. You know, Van Dijk's literally babysitting Lovren in that match yesterday. You know,
literally.
Terrible.
Literally. He should get paid double this week.
Yeah,
for that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
He's covering over there. He's covering over there. He's covering his position. He's covering Lovren. What, I mean, in the 90th minute, what on earth is Lovren doing?
Well, you saw what Van Dijk responded with. I mean, Van Dijk was livid. I mean, and I think he was mad with Lovren most of the game. I mean, you can look at when they kept showing his face, he was pissed off at Lovren.
Yeah, you got the ball, and then you just pumping long balls into Van Dijk from the halfway line and on his weak foot as well. Play the ball to Robertson, like Van Dijk said, and get it in from a more dangerous position where it actually makes City think. Not from the halfway line. You know, you see Van Dijk putting the arrows, he's saying, give it to Robertson, then put it in. Not straight to me. It was frustrating. It was very frustrating.
Yeah. It's Joe Barnes in the comment section says Matip is too injury prone, and that's actually an issue I have with Lovren as well. They're not
Yeah.
dependable. They're not, and everyone can't be a gladiator like Van Dyke. I get it, but
And
these
Joe,
guys.
Joe Gomez
Van Dijk
is
plays at 20%.
injury prone too.
That's
Well,
what
see,
I mean.
that's the thing. That's the thing. You got to put him in that group too now, which is really disappointing. But with
Yeah.
that serious injury he had, this is probably not the last injury we're going to see Gomez have, which is really, really harsh. Football's harsh sometimes because he has a great future if he can stay fit. But I'm a little worried about him, man, after these back-to-back injuries like this. So it'll be interesting to see. Look on the bright side, there's some optimism. There's some a big chance that, as Klopp said, that Ox will be back sooner than later. But even with him, I kind of want to be careful. I don't want to rush him back. I definitely don't want to rush him back. So if it
He's
means if it means March, April, cool. Like don't rush this dude back. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Um,
we're gonna play him, I just like to see him play the whole 5 games. If we're gonna win the Premier League, that's the only reason I'd want him to play. Really, just to get those 5 appearances on his belt, stick him on for the last minute. If we're gonna win the Premier League, so he can get that medal. That's the only reason I'd want to play, because I wanted to have a full pre-season where he's back up and running. I mean, Ox is such a brilliant guy. You can just see his attitude on and off the pitch. He wants to play for us. He gives 100% all the time, and you can see how much we missed him. The game against City away just shows how important he was yesterday.
oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Because I think with Naby and Oxes, they both move the ball quickly. Sorry, my voice went there. They both move the ball quickly. They can both pass forward, but the thing is, Ox has that more of defensively. He's defensively minded as well, and he's strong off the ball as well. On the ball. So that's the thing why Ox would have been a brilliant player in that game, and I hope he comes back to his full potential, because it's quite frustrating that he's missed. Basically, he was at the top. I've never seen Oxlade-Chamberlain play that well at that time. He was on top of his game. That time he missed the Champions League final, he missed the World Cup at his peak age, basically 24, 25 years old, and that's why I feel quite sorry for him. But hopefully he does come back with a bang, because it's like a new signing next summer. We'll have a new player basically in
Yeah.
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I mean that saying is always so cliche and it's irritating, but it's so true in this case.
Yeah, it is.
Mame, I'm gonna give both of you guys the floor for just last thoughts, but damn, I lost my train of thought. What is so after this game? It's one game, it's one loss. Surely you were very confident in us getting the title this year, before this game, and probably really starting to dream, as most of us were. This loss, this body blow, if you will, has your optimism or confidence in that fact changed at all, or do you feel like we have enough to suck it up and bounce back?
Well, I think nothing with me. Nothing changed. I still think that we're gonna win the league.
Oh, I love to hear
maybe
that.
it's too. Maybe I'm sounding too confident, but that's what we showed. That's what we showed. Come on, yesterday game was against a very big team that did everything they could to beat us, and they won the game with the details. We weren't lucky. Let's say that. Maybe we didn't deserve to win, but we didn't deserve to lose that game.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And if it was a home game, we would probably win it. That's it.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I
That's
think
football.
the game goes differently. Since someone asked a great question in the comment section, how we feeling about Virgil van Dijk? This is kind of off topic, but still Liverpool, obviously, not being available for Bayern. Real quick, give me your thoughts on that.
Well,
yeah, go on.
Well, before yesterday's game, I was like, it's okay. But after yesterday's game, I'm like, yo, if you gotta stick with Lovren,
exactly.
God damn it.
Yeah, great question, Jason. Great question. Because I'm like, woo.
Who's gonna babysit Lovren?
Exactly.
Ain't gonna have no babysitter. Ain't gonna have no babysitter, man. That's the problem. That's really frightening, bro. That is really frightening.
And it's probably gonna be like a Gomez or Matip or Gomez or Lovren. I mean, I never ever want to see Lovren Matip partnership. That's just scarred me for life. I mean,
I know that's the thing. It's like, what do you? I can stand to see a Matip Gomez. We should try that out when they're both fit. We should try that out.
I remember.
I think the only thing to do to be safe defensively is to do that high pressing game at home. So that we won't be too exposed defensively.
Yeah.
That's the only
Right now,
thing we
it's
can
like
hope for.
the Champions League. I love the Champions League so much, but the Premier League has just taken so much of my focus that I just want. I've put my focus aside. I don't care about Wolves. I don't care about anything right now. I just want
Yeah.
to lift this Champions League, and then I'll just start focusing. Then I'll be like, yeah, let's return the title. Let's go for the Champions League. Let's go for the FA Cup. You know that's just a. I think the thinking of most minds. I don't know about you lot, but that
Yeah, I loved how you put that, because I think the more I think about it, I feel like whatever competition we're in, then I'm totally there. Like right now, I think the league is so important, obviously, and that's what we're doing right now. Champions League hasn't started back up yet. When that starts, I think I'll get more into that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
right now, I'm just focusing
Yeah.
on trying to bounce back from the league game. Gary, just give me any like final thoughts, and the same question I posed to Mame. Are you still as confident after this body blow?
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, anyone that wouldn't be confident is just reactionary. They're just deluded, really, because look how well. I mean, this is not, as I said again, this is not a game where this is a game that you can lose. Doesn't matter who it is. This is a game that you can lose away from home. You give everything. As I said, we basically lost the game by 1.1. That's how close we were to getting at least a point.
Yeah.
Yes, it's disappointing because I mean, if we won the game, of course, I think we would have been massive favorites to win the league. I think we probably would have won it from there on. A draw would have given us a nice little comfy gap. Of course, it would have, but a 4 points is still a nice gap. Of course, it is. But we just need to, if we win our games, again, don't focus on City. Win our games first, and then if City drop points, then it's a boost for us. You know, have no regrets. Don't have any regrets, because if you drop points and City drop points, then you have that. Oh yeah, if we won this, we would the gap would have been to 6. You know, have no regrets at the end of the season. You know, just go for every single game in the Premier League. Go into the attitude where you like one game at a time. Win this game, next one game at a time. Don't put pressure on yourself, and that's why I think Klopp is the best man for the job, because he's experienced in these titles. He's won back-to-back Bundesligas, and he's going to keep, like Wijnaldum said, he's kept our feet on the ground. You know, he's not let us get ahead of ourselves. He's not put pressure on us. He's just said one game at a time, and that's the mentality and attitude we need, because 17 games to go. When you think about it, it's a lot of games, isn't it? So we just need to take it one game at a time, keep on winning, and every time we win and maybe City will drop points, it's just going to get shorter and closer to the title. But it's still a long way to go. But there's no need to put pressure on ourselves. We can definitely go on a winning run. If we can win our next 5 games and we can win 15 points, then I think we might have maybe a 7-point gap again, or a 9-point gap, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hope we can go to, I think it's called Falmer Stadium, Chris Hughton in Brighton, and hope we can go out there and get a result. I'd like to see a good pounding, and I like Chris Hughton, but I think after that game we really need to just get.
Yeah, like Mama said as well. Mama said he said we need to win against Wolves as well. It's true, because we don't want to draw that game and have an extra game on top, or we don't want to lose. We need to win that game as well. We need to get it back into that rhythm of winning games, like City did as well at that time. When they lost against us, we broke the record. They got back into the rhythm of winning. That's what we need to do. Brush this aside. Sorry, like Klopp said as well, and we'll be back again. Wolves is a very important game. As much as we don't really care at the moment, we need to win as well. And
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I would have liked a home game after this this
Would be
defeat.
nice. Would be nice. Yeah, it would have been nice. But no, definitely, I definitely want to get a result against Wolves. I think they knocked us out of this competition last season. Was it?
Yeah, they did 2-1 at Anfield.
Yeah. So no more of that, please.
And
Go ahead, my man.
as I know Klopp, he's gonna go strong again, because he doesn't want what happened with Chelsea at the Carabao Cup happen again. So he will go back with a strong team. You know, so we don't want the front three to play, but I think he will put at least 2 of them.
Yeah, see, I'm worried about that, because I think you're probably right, because of that simple fact that you don't want to take this lightly. You want to, especially them beating us last season, and also after a loss, you want to get a win. So, Gary brought that up earlier, and I don't want to see them, but I think he'll, like Mame said, at least 1 or at least 2, if not 1, will play. I think, sadly,
because if you look at the last game against Wolf, it was a tough game, huh? It was a really tough game.
Yeah.
So I don't think Klopp will take it lightly.
As far as the big 6, I think we have 3 left. 2 at home, 1 away. I think United's away, and Chelsea and Spurs at home.
Spurs at home and Chelsea home as well. So
yeah, so we should look, man. We chin up, guys.
5 games.
Yeah, keep your head up, guys. it really helped me. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but it really helped me talking to you guys about the game. I feel much better now. So I appreciate both of you guys' time.
Let's say
Seriously, man.
we feel better.
Yeah, man. I feel much better, man. Getting that out. So great talking to you guys. I'll let you guys get
Yeah.
back to your lives, and we'll come back sooner than later. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks
Nice.
for having us, man.
All
Thanks.
right, buddy.